it is Jazz here. Welcome to the Tome Topple Round 9 vlog. It is 6:10, I guess, on the night before the readathon officially starts. I always like to start the day before. I don't know why, but it's just fun to kind of tell you guys like my game plan. So I do have two like focus books for this readathon. The first one that I want to finish most is The Story of Edgar Sawtale. This is the one that I did like start, as I've said in a couple of videos, and then I put it down even though I was enjoying it, and I didn't pick it up, and now I have to start the book over again. So I'm going to audiobook the parts that I have already read just to kind of jump back into the story and continue on from there. I also would like to complete The Dragon Bow Chair by Tad Williams, which I finally got this in the mail, was it last week? And it actually turns out to be shorter than I thought it was going to be. I mean, it's still long. It's still 600 plus pages, but I because it's a Tad Williams, I just automatically assumed that it was going to be 700 or 800 pages, possibly more. My plans are to start at midnight, since I'm usually up at midnight anyway, because that's just how my sleep journey goes. And I do have a couple of things to do in some of the planners that I got. I got two happy planners. I got this one for work, and I got this one for like hobbies and like video stuff and like tracking my books and things like that. And I wanted to use them right away. So Happy Planner has like inserts you can get so that you can kind of number the pages yourself and stuff. And so I need to number the pages in both of these planners so that I can have a November and December calendar. I've heard that the numbering and lettering, putting all the customizing that stuff takes a little bit of time. I can always do that while audiobooking something. I will probably update you tomorrow and let you know how far I got in this. So I'm really excited to see what the audiobook is like. When I read it, I had like a lot of details that I wanted to focus on, and so hopefully I can still catch all those details while audiobooking it. All right, it's officially day one now of the readathon. So I did pretty good starting at midnight. I have actually sped up the Story of Edgar Sawtale audiobook a little bit just because I do like to speed up my audiobooks, and this one actually sounds pretty okay at like 190 or 200 speed. So I thought, why not? If I'm comfortable with listening to it at the speed, why not continue to listen to it at the speed, which has made it go by pretty quickly. So I think I've read like the equivalent of 80 pages in this. That's pretty good for sure. Well, read, you know, listen to the equivalent of 80 pages, I should say. As for my thoughts so far on the Story of Edgar Sawtale, I am really enjoying it. It is one of those books that does tell you like every minute detail of like everything, but the writing style is kind of fun, so you're invested in every little detail of every little thing. So I wouldn't say that it's a bad thing that it goes into like minute details of things. And it's also one of those books though where I feel like it has symbolism in it, and I'm not always catching every single detail of the symbolism, but I think I catch like the important symbolizations, so I guess that's all that matters, and I will just, you know, let the chips fall where they may. I'm probably going to audiobook quite a bit more today because it's 3 in the afternoon and I still want to get a few little household chores things done, and what better time to listen to an audiobook. So yeah, me and my crazy hair, I'll go do that. Also, I have yet to do the washi tape checklist for this readathon, so I need to get around to doing that today as well. Let's get to work.
Quickly enough, they discovered that no one understood a case like Edgar's. Such children existed only in textbooks, and even those were different in 1,000 particulars from this baby, whose lips worked when he wanted to nurse, whose hands paddled the air when his parents diapered him, who smelled faintly like fresh flour and tasted like the sea, who slept in their arms and woke and compared in puzzlement their faces with the ether of some distant world, silent in contentment and silent in distress.
Hello, everybody. Again, it is again. I don't know. I'm weird. It's day 2 of the readathon, and I've gotten, I think, close to like 250 pages into the story of Edgar Sawtale in my book, and it's getting exciting. At this part, I was listening to it while putting my makeup on, and I was like, I don't want to stop, but I need to stop because I'm going places today. Yeah, it's been also kind of sad. Something sad happened, and it was really sad because in this book, Edgar, doesn't have the ability to speak, and they don't know why. Sad things happen, and then you're like, oh my goodness, he can't speak! I was dying yesterday. I'd read that part before, but even in a reread, I was dying. So, or a read-listen? I don't know. I'm confused. Anyway, so, as I said, I am doing things today. I am going with my mom, who is driving. I'm obviously not talking on my phone and driving, because that would be bad. Well, also, I couldn't do that because I don't drive. And we are going to Michael's to look at some stickers for our planner and some other stuff. And then we are also going to go to Walgreens just to get, the stuff you get at Walgreens. So I guess I'll take you with me for some of that. And then hopefully I'll come back home, do some more stuff.
Oh, we will come back home.
No, hopefully, what I mean, Mom, this is my mom. What I mean, Mom, is that hopefully, let me finish my sentence.
Okay.
Is that hopefully I will get to come home and read.
Okay, that sounded better.
But
that one was scary sounding.
I say things in a weird order. I was going to say, hopefully I'll come back home and get to read before midnight. But you gotta let me finish my sentence. She never lets me finish my sentences. It's part of our relationship. Sometimes we finish each other's sentences, but in this case, get confused.
Oopsie.
Anyway, I am off. I will see you soon. This whole video is just gonna be instead of a reading vlog, an ode to my happy planner, because I'm obsessed with videos, and I'm really excited about planning for next year and also planning the rest of this year. So we went a little crazy, my mom and I, in the Michaels, and I wanted to show you guys my haul. So first up, we got these scrapbook paper pages. A lot of cool videos for their planner. They punch stuff out in scrapbook paper for their weekly layouts and make really cool things with those. So we got a couple of those because they were on sale. A paper cutter because you always need a paper cutter. We got a heck of a ton of the Happy Planner brand stickers. So just all the different seasonal stickers and a bunch of different ones. Some little packs that have a couple of dividers and things in them. And then I got a pencil case and stick it on my work binder here, my work planner here, so that I can just have pens at hand when I need to do stuff. More stickers, and then more stickers. These are the animal lover ones. I'm for sure going to use the sloth if that mom doesn't use that one. We also got some glue dots to stick things when we need to stick stuff, and mom got some stamps because she wanted the days of the week stamps and things like that. This is from, I don't know what brand it is, Recollections. There were a couple of other brands that just had the cutest stickers in the world. My camera's not straight, so that's fun. They had like the cutest stickers in the world and the cutest washi tape in the world. So this like little Shine Stickers studio had like the cutest washi tape. I don't know if you can see it, but it's got like little girls with crazy hair and like unicorns and stuff. So that brand had like some other stickery kind of sheets that are really cute. And then I got the Sweet Kawaii design stickers, which are also super cute, and they have some stuff that says like "Don't worry, be happy." I thought that was cute. More recollection stickers that are like Christmassy for my December section. Got like the hole punch for squares from the Happy Planner thing, so that we can like punch out the paper that we bought and like do different things with the weekly spread. And then we also got the Faith Planner for the Happy Planner. So they actually have like little faith planners, and it's got like you can write like your Bible verses that you like, and just like blessings for the week, things you're grateful for, make like a scripture reading plan with keywords and just things like that. I'm probably going to replace the rings though, because the Happy Planner, you can like take things out, right? So you can also, because of that, replace the rings. So I don't really like the rings that come with this. I like the metal ones. I've discovered in my short time of happy planning. So I'm going to replace them with the rings that were in this planner originally. Also at Walgreens, just a crazy part of, other than my like, you know, toiletries, I got more socks. The box that this is sitting on, my camera is sitting on, is actually full of socks. I don't really need more socks, but I always need more socks. So I bought some more socks at the Walgreens. Yeah, just wanted to show you my haul. I'm gonna eat. Still haven't read much, and I will try to remedy that in the next few hours. Hello again, friends. It is day 4 of the readathon. I just got home from work like a little while ago, so yeah, I'm a little sweaty from teaching dance classes. It's the coldest it's been in Tennessee in a long while. It like dropped to like 20 something degrees, which I guess if you live in Canada is not that cold, but if you live in the South, it's kind of cold. And parts of the dance studio where I teach had no heat, so it was a interesting time. Luckily it was heated in the dance room, but the poor parents in the lobby were freezing their tushies off. Anyway, I've been reading along. I've been also just listening to my audiobook. The thing about the audiobook for this is that if you do start the audiobook of the story of Edgar Saltail, I feel like your only options are to just listen to the audiobook or read along while listening to the audiobook, because it does that thing where like things are more in chunks of like different parts of the book, as opposed to like each section of the book being its own part of the recording. That makes no sense. What I'm saying is that the book is separated into 5 large parts, and those 5 large parts are separated into smaller sections, and the audiobook like just collects a bunch of those smaller sections into like 20 to 15 minute segments. And so it's very hard to just read the book and then go back to the audiobook, and that's kind of the only thing that I don't like about the audiobook. But the audiobook is fine, other than that like organization of it, but it does make it so that you can't really, I mean you could, but it would be difficult to switch from the audiobook to just reading it, and that's actually fine, because I do find that I enjoy the book quite a bit reading along when I do want to read the book with my eyes. I only have, I think, maybe 60, maybe a little under 60 pages left of the book, and I don't really have any super new thoughts. I'm kind of reserving a lot of my thoughts or the very end of the book, other than the fact that this book features quite a few dogs in it. A big, huge part of the book is about dogs. When dogs, like, get hurt or something happens to them, like, it breaks my heart into like 50 bajillion pieces, and things like that have been happening in this book, and I've been like, ooh, like, if a dog is injured, I'm like, ooh, I hurt with you, dog, I hurt, ooh, cringe. So that kind of happened some yesterday. I also could have probably finished this book yesterday, but I decided not to, and that was because I did not want to go into the last 60 pages tired, or like have to stop in the middle of them, so I didn't even read it today. I thought I will save the book for tonight so I can just read it uninterrupted, because if I didn't mention in this vlog before, a lot of the story of Edgar Saltail is sort of a retelling of the Shakespeare play Hamlet. And so I have a feeling, because of that things are going to get crazy in the last few pages. So I didn't want to have to like stop my audiobook at an exciting part. So I'm hoping it will be finished in the next couple of hours. I probably will give you my update on my thoughts on the whole entire book tomorrow, but I just wanted to do a quick update now. Day 6. I kind of skipped day 5 by accident. I didn't mean to. I just got uber busy. I had a headache in the morning. I didn't actually end up reading that much yesterday. And also, I did try to film an update yesterday, but I was so tired after coming home from work that my arms were like shaking trying to hold my phone camera, and I just thought, you know what, let's just film the update again, because, you know, life happens. So on day 4 of the readathon, I completed the story of Edgar Saltail and had quite a bit to say about it. I reserved my thoughts on this for as long as possible because I wanted to see what I was going to think of like the whole book in its entirety, because reading it was kind of an interesting experience. It was a journey in like terms of intellectual thought. I feel like when I went into the book initially, this was months back when I initially started the book, I didn't know much about it other than my mom said the writing style was cool and she thought I would like it, and so I picked it up and read it. Also, you know, Stephen King wrote a blurb on the back, so I like Stephen King. I thought I'll give it a go. And then I caught on to the fact, as I was, I don't know, get about 100-something pages in, that it was going to be somewhat of a Hamlet retelling, which I wasn't sure initially if that was going to like mess up the book for me, because that, to a certain extent, was going to like kill the element of surprise, if you will. I've read Hamlet, and so I know what happens in Hamlet, so I knew that I was going to know like the key points of how the story was going to go, and so I wasn't sure how I felt about that. And then I realized something, that even though I kind of knew certain key plot points, I still was having a feeling of excitement and wanting to know what was going to happen, and I was still super invested in the characters and what was going on. And I thought, well, why is that, even though I knew some key plot points? And I do think it's really something clever that the author did with the book, and I started to really love that it was going to be somewhat of a retelling about it, because what's clever about it is that some characters in the story are represented by dogs, because, as I mentioned, the family in the story, Edgar's mother and father, run a dog breeding business, and they breed a specific sort of almost magical realism type dog that's highly intelligent. And so that made it sort of have an interesting aspect in terms of how certain characters were represented and how you kind of view loyalty from certain characters through the lens of dogs. Also, I really like when an author can write a dog's point of view really well, and this author does that, so go David. Another aspect that I was kind of fond of in terms of the sort of layout of the retelling is that the author used the setting, which is sort of 1970s, like small town America, in an interesting way. And he also used the characters in sort of an interesting way. I feel like because he wrote the characters in a way that isn't necessarily that close to characters in Hamlet, but still put them in the same situations, you still got like a feeling of interest because of that. So what I'm trying to say is that Edgar, while representing Hamlet, is not necessarily exactly like Hamlet. He's quite a bit younger boy. He doesn't have the ability to speak. There are things about him that are quite a bit different. I think actually possibly, depending on how you view Hamlet, possibly more empathetic. And I think a lot of the characters that he developed and used were based on a certain character, but not exactly like those characters. So I found that really adding to the interest of the story. And so the fun of the book, I would say, comes from you discovering how he's going to represent different things from the play and retell them in a really clever, different way. Another cool thing about this is that it kind of makes you rethink the play of Hamlet and really think about using your imagination to think what might have happened before the play and what happened in the parts that you don't see in the play and what might have happened at the end. So it's almost like through this lens you can kind of almost think about like maybe different thoughts and feelings and different events that might have happened in the original play through kind of seeing what this author does with his sort of spin on it. You get to see Edgar's father and his mother together, and then like when his uncle comes in, it's interesting to see what the relationship between the father and the uncle is, and like it kind of makes you think about the play in those ways, because those are the things you don't get to see necessarily in the play, but you would see them in this book. I feel like I'm not explaining the excellence of this book well at all. So if you like Hamlet and you like dogs, this is probably a book that you want to give a try. The writing style is amazeballs. The audiobook is read pretty well despite like the splitting of the chapters issue that I mentioned in another update. I will say that if you know nothing about Hamlet and you want to have an element of surprise in this book on certain large plot points, I would say maybe continue to know nothing about Hamlet until after you've completed this book. But I, to a certain extent, feel like this book is better if you acknowledge that it's a retelling. I'm leaning towards giving this book a 5-star rating. I think the only thing that makes me question my 5-star rating is that I feel like I enjoyed it more on like an intellectual level. Even though I was really invested in it, I don't know that I would say that my heart bloomed with feeling as much. But I still want to give this 5 stars, weirdly, because it was so intellectually interesting to me. I guess, it doesn't, 5 stars don't always have to be based on, like, all your feelings. I guess if I based it on my feelings, maybe it would be something weird, like 4.75. But, like, I'm going to just combine that with my intellectual feeling thoughts and go with a 5-star moment. I don't know. Ratings are hard. Anyway, I have read between today and a little bit last night 42 pages of The Dragon Bone Chair by Tad Williams. I read it while listening to the audiobook because I was tired and it was just kind of easier to do it that way. And it is pretty high fantasy, so I did want to be able to pause the audiobook, reread sections where there were like different names or things that I needed to get used to, and then listen to it again. George R.R. Martin, who wrote Game of Thrones, is known to have said that this book series inspired him to write Game of Thrones. and it's one of his favorite fantasy series. And I definitely see how this book influenced Game of Thrones in some really interesting ways. And I'm only like 42 pages in, so I'm intrigued. The main character in this book has already won me over. He is just this gangly little 14-year-old like ginger boy, and I'm ready for his hero journey because I just feel like, oh, he's adorably awkward and I want to root for him. I'm excited because I think there's going to be like fairies or fae or elves or some kind of thing. I don't know, some kind of thing, and possibly some dragons. And so this is going to be some high fantasy fun. Now, I really should do some stuff today, but I don't really feel like doing anything today. So I think, for the most part, I'm going to try to read this and see if I can at least get a solid 100 pages done of this. Okay, guys, it's day 7. Obviously, my winter allergies are just having a whirligig of fun by the sneeze that has happened. Because of the whatever allergicness I'm having, I keep getting like some cough situations and a lot of like, I don't know, sinus situations just because of allergens. So I did get a little bit of a headache yesterday, and I didn't read as much of the Dragon Bone Chair as I wanted to, but I'm going to say that I at least read 100 pages. I'm really enjoying it so far. People have said that the Dragon Bone Chair is really slow, at least from what I can tell from reviews on Goodreads, and I don't know. I don't really think it's that slow. I guess too, I just kind of expect there to be some setup in a high fantasy to a certain extent, so maybe that's why I don't think that. But I do have to say too, like, even when there have been little bits of exposition or something in the story, like Tad Williams does it in a fun way, using like character and kind of making it like a scene instead of just straight up exposition, which I really appreciate. Also, already in this first 100 pages, there's been a little bit of political upheaval, and of course I'm just already quite invested in the main character, as I mentioned. So I don't know, it was a good 100 pages that I read. It's like 2:30 now on a Friday. I have to do one thing for work, which is send my music in for the dance show that's coming up next weekend. So I need to send that to my boss for the ballet performance that we're putting on the like day after this readathon ends. And then I'm probably going to do some working out, some music practice and stuff like that. But I do want to squeeze in some reading. Now, what I'm debating is I do feel like I enjoy the Dragon Bone Chair more when I like sit and really focus on it, as opposed to like listening to the audiobook and trying to do other things. So I did download the audiobook for it. So I'm thinking in the moments when I'm like working or something and I have time, I'll listen to some of it while doing that. And then I will, when I like actually like sit down and really focus on reading, listen to the Dragon Bone Chair. Oh yeah, I need to like edit this video today or start it so that it can like get up soon. There's more to do today than I anticipated, but we're gonna make it happen. It's all gonna be good. Day 7. It's just nighttime on day 7. Time has passed in a flurry. Anyway, I think my reading plan is going to work, switching between it and the Dragon Bone Chair. So I did end up listening to the first chapter of it while doing some chores. And yeah, it's just easier to focus on while doing chores and things like that than as opposed to Dragon Bone Chair, which is by far more high fantasy. Also, I've read it before, albeit like several, like more than 10 years back, probably like 16 years ago. But I have read it before, so I, don't have to like, worry about missing details as much on that one, but I do want to catch every single detail of Dragon Bone Chair. Then when I had some free time before I ate dinner, I did read a little bit of Dragon Bone Chair. I think it was only like 15 pages, but I'm actually planning to really dive into it tonight, so you know, even though it wasn't like a ton of pages, I'm not like overly concerned. Not that I'm concerned, because reading's supposed to be fun and readathons are supposed to be fun, and it's about the quality of the read as opposed to the quantity. Am I right? Anyway, this is my sign off for the moment, because I'm doing the Tome Topple vlog, I've decided, in 2 parts. So I'm going to do the first 7 days, which is this vlog, and then I'm going to do another vlog that's the second 7 days of the readathon, so that we can have slightly shorter vlogs. Possibly it will be more interesting, because, you know, with Tome Topple, you're reading like the same book for a really, really long time. So it can get, I don't know, it might get kind of monotonous for you guys, just me like updating every few hundred pages. So I thought it would just be better if I separated it in like two videos. I don't know if it'll be better. You'll have to tell me. But I do hope that you will check out the next part, which will probably be up next week. And I hope you've enjoyed this 7 days vlog this week, and I will see you all very soon. Thank you for watching, guys. Bye.